Hi, everyone, and welcome once again to the Adventures Travel Club television show. We are, as you can see, on the rainy coast of Oregon.
Yeah, I
Nice,
know,
huh?
but it looks like we have rain, but that isn't true. But it did rain a bit in Oregon, but
Just on rainy days.
on rain.
That's all.
Yeah, but that's their reputation, doesn't everybody
hey,
know?
if you didn't have rain, you wouldn't have any green.
No, I have a
right?
I have a grandson goes to University of Oregon, and coming from California. But he still thinks it's the greatest place to be.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, no matter, if you're going to have sunshine 365 days a year, you get used to that. If you're going to have rain 300 and whatever days, you'll get used to that. Whatever. It's all getting used to it.
You are a sage, aren't you? S-A-G-E. You are a sage with all these wise remarks that you make.
That's sage. That's what you find out on the desert,
You do
right?
that too, and you also put it in your. Don't you put it in soup or something
I
like
guess,
that?
yeah. And if you're going to bake a turkey, I don't know. Anyway, there were a few, probably due to the rain, a few slides on the highway there, and of course this is just one of them that we ran into. But this is a normal thing.
Marv, was that a good idea to put that on the tape?
What?
To put the slide. Why didn't we just skip that?
No, that's part of what you're going to see.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, It was just nothing.
Yeah. Well, no, there were a few of them. In fact, another place we got held up because a logging truck had turned over. So you never can tell what you're going to discover along the coast of Oregon. But
anywhere, babe.
That's true, but it's just I thought this was beautiful, and it does clear up, and then it rains a little bit, but you never can tell, just depending on where you're going to be at what time of year.
But it wasn't cold.
No, it was
cold.
not. No, it was very nice indeed. So anyway, but there were so many rivers, that we crossed, so many bridges and so many rivers. I keep forgetting that up there that you've got an awful lot of rivers that are running right down there to the ocean.
And when you have a river, you have to have a bridge to cross it.
That's right. And hopefully you've got salmon swimming upstream so that a lot of folks can go fishing up there. And of course, that's what a lot of people like to do in Oregon. Great place for outdoors people, that's for sure. And here we see another area too. In just a little bit, we're going to run across something that I thought was really unusual, and it happened to be actually right where we just stopped. We wanted to have a little look out here, but there were two people riding bicycles. And remember this man and the woman that were riding bicycles? And it was really interesting to me because they said they were going to go all the way around the world, not on this particular trip, but I think that they were heading from Vancouver down to San Diego or something. But whoa, that's a long way on a bicycle.
They can do it. That's fine. We watched the bicyclists in France when we were in Lourdes this year, and they were all practicing for the Tour de France. It was so interesting, Marv. They had on the curved roads, they had taken old bicycle tires and painted them a bright yellow and orange.
Is that right?
In case the bicyclists, because they go at a tremendous speed.
Yeah.
If they went too fast around the curve, then they would be protected.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea.
It was very interesting.
Well, we just got a shot here of these bicycle things. Now we're going to stop here and talk to them for just a minute and find out a little bit more about them. But I thought this was kind of exciting. Something you don't run into every day.
Down the port, we're doing the coastal tour.
Okay.
Mind if he gets you on
How
film?
far you guys ride?
Vancouver, BC, down to LA.
Oh, you're kidding, really? How long do you think it'll take?
Well, we got another 3 weeks to go. Then we're going to go around the world.
When did you start?
About 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we got a year to 2 years. We're just going to venture the world. So sold everything, dropped it, checked out of the hotel for a couple of years.
There you go. Great.
Oh, that's super.
Is
Good
you
luck.
married?
No. Yeah, coma.
Very good.
Might as well be married, I guess.
Not a good tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's something, to sell everything that you have and grab your bicycle and your backpack and off you go.
Yeah, but that's not for me. I would be thinking I was lucky to get back on a bus instead of having to take a bicycle. My gosh.
Well,
you have
that's
to be
exciting.
in really good shape to do
yeah,
something like
sure.
that. And so adventuresome, too. No, that isn't for me.
That's not for you, huh?
No,
Okay.
never would have been. I would have been afraid.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You never wanted to go out and venture out on a bicycle on a cross-country trip?
No way.
A lot of people do, though. I guess if you're up for it, well, that's, a neat thing to do, so. anyway, we're going to head on down the road again as we keep on going down here the Oregon coast. And you know, what I like so much about the Oregon coast is it changes. I mean, you can be in one area where you've got again the rain and a lot of trees, and then all of a sudden you go through a tunnel, and then you cross a bridge, and you're out again right next to the water, and then sometimes you'll be in a little ways. But so you've got all sorts of beautiful scenery to see.
I got a phone call yesterday from Agnes Larson up in Porterville. Went with us on this trip, and she says, "You know, Betty, we've been talking about that up here, and we think we'd like to do it again. Are you going to have it next year?" So I said to Agnes, "Well, I haven't done 1997 yet, but I think that might be a good idea to put it on the agenda."
Be a good idea. Speaking about that, we do have another bus trip that is coming up in August. On the 18th through the 28th, we're going to Yellowstone and Mount Rushmore. And this is going to be neat because you're also going to stop in Zion and Bryce Canyons, and you'll see the national parks there too. And then you'll be in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and you'll see the Abraham Lincoln Memorial Monument there. I didn't know there was one to him in Cheyenne.
You see, you learn something every day.
All the time.
Every day. And if you don't, then there's something wrong with you.
All right. You're also going to see a hand-dug oil well. I think maybe one of the only ones in the United States. It's going to be in close to Custer, South Dakota.
How deep do you think it's going to be? Guess.
I don't know. That kind of would be one heck of a job to do, I would think. And anyway. And then you're going to be in Deadwood. And Deadwood, doesn't that sound like it?
That doesn't sound very attractive, but I know it is.
No, remember the. I was trying to remember the song, the Deadwood Stage, that came from the musical. Oh, can't think of it offhand. Now the Deadwood Stage is da 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 da. Don't you remember that?
Deadwood Stage?
Yeah.
No. Is that the stage that they rode on with the horses?
That's the
Not
that's
the
one.
stage that they got up and performed on. Huh?
No, it was a different one. Anyway, you're going to see a lot on that, and going to Yellowstone and also to Mount Rushmore. So again, that's coming up August 18th.
Yeah,
do you have any seats left on that trip, Betty?
That's just about gone. I have, as of now, I have 6 places, but I'm sure by the time it gets on the air that we will, hopefully they will be gone.
Okay, but you might give Betty a call anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll give you the phone number at the end of the program. Again, some more of this beautiful scenery and some of the lighthouses along the line. I don't know how many of those have. Oh, and look, the seals, Betty. See the seals in the rain?
Yeah.
They're getting a little shower bath right there. So anyway, they were just there's so many of these little places where you can pull out and stop for photo ops.
And we do that. We spend a lot of time stopping and picture taking.
It's a very hard wood. It is slow growing. It's an evergreen. And the leaves, you can take and cook with the leaves like you would a bay leaf. In the Holy Lands, it's a very hard wood. Slow growing. It absorbs minerals where it grows, so that's why you get a variety of colors from blondes clear to the chocolate browns.
Well, this was just one of the many little myrtlewood factories and showrooms that were along the coast that we saw here, and people wanted to stop and take a look at this. It is rather an interesting and rather pretty wood, and I didn't realize that, like she said, that it absorbs so many minerals, and that's what gives it the change of colors, either the blonde or the darker woods.
Yeah, you can have it.
You don't like it?
It's okay. I mean, I'm not going to spend money for a piece of wood that I bring down. If I'm going to.
No. That piece of wood is in a form of a bowl or something else. I mean, something to make it useful.
Now, see, a bowl I like. That would be fine. A nice salad bowl. But
out of myrtle wood.
Yeah, but I don't give me one of those clocks or pen holders or something made. And anyway, it was
Betty,
expensive.
you've got closets full of that stuff. What do you do with all the things that you bring back? I mean, because you're a shopper just like everybody else that goes along, right?
I don't do that really. I buy clothes.
Oh, so that's what's in your closet.
That's what's
then.
in my closet.
Okay.
But of course, that's a logical place to have clothes. Would be in a closet, isn't that right?
I should hope so.
Okay. No, I don't.
Anyway,
really.
Okay. Well, now that's it. But even if you don't need it, you go out and buy it, whatever it is,
That's
right?
I mean, especially if it has a sale sign.
Yeah. Did you find that? Did you find many sale signs along on this particular trip?
I don't really think I bought anything on this.
You didn't?
Oh no, that's not true. When we went to Ferndale or was it Ferndale? I bought a beautiful pair of handcrafted earrings.
Oh, you
They were
did?
lovely,
Uh-huh.
just lovely.
Well, that's
Uh-huh.
good.
That's
See,
it.
so you did buy
That's
something
it.
anyway. All right. Well, anyway,
Something
we're
to
gonna something to wear.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, that's what you like, and that's just fine, and that's
what she
you have
does.
to do. That's what you do. Yeah. Right. Anyway, across another bridge and another river as we keep on going down the coast.
You know what? Excuse me for interrupting you, but we really should play that game,
What's that?
bridge.
Ah.
We do it so often. That was poor. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
well,
Yeah,
that's
you could
okay. That's a
erase that.
Bettyism.
You
This
can
is a
erase it.
this is sand dune, if you can imagine that. And we did run across sand dunes in various areas. That really surprised me. I didn't expect to see that before in that particular area. Anyway, Betty, we were talking a little bit earlier about this other trip that you have coming up to Yellowstone and Mount Rushmore, and some of the areas that I was looking over the itinerary and. Do you know that you're going to go to see a mud volcano?
I know that. Gee, you know, that sounds like something you would like to get your bod in and get some nice warm mud on you. And
Have you ever done that?
No, but it sounds so great.
I've done that
Have
before.
you? Is
Yeah.
it fun?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of muddy. Yeah.
Look, look, look.
I did it though, just to say I did it. But no, it was fun. It was up in up in Napa.
But
They
now,
have
you
those.
know, when we saw this is when we were in New Zealand,
Mhm.
where they had the mud that was going bloop, bloop.
It didn't smell
Remember?
too good either,
No,
yeah,
it
as
was,
I
but
recall.
that was coming, well, that was really from-
sulfur.
Yes, sulfur
Right?
springs
Yeah.
that came bubbling up. Most interesting, though, kind of like you'd think hell might be.
Well, it could be. I don't know. Anyway, on that on your trip, you're going to see several of the geysers when you go to Yellowstone. The Norris Geyser and the Mammoth Hot Springs and the Tower Falls is like that you're mentioning.
I
And you're-
think, excuse
Pardon
me.
me?
I was just going to say, I'm truly looking forward to this, Marv. I haven't seen a whole lot of the United States. And the other day I went to Yosemite and hadn't been up there maybe 20 years, and my gosh,
Magnificent, huh?
I was overwhelmed with what I saw.
Sienna's right in your own
Right
backyard.
in my own backyard.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's the amazing thing about travel, though. Sometimes you've got things in your own backyard, and you go clear around the world to find something else.
Well,
but,
I think the United States is a good place to
Oh,
go when you get a
sure
little
is.
older, but go see all these other places while you still have your good health. Then you can go to the United States on when it's a little more difficult.
That's right. That's right. Some of the other places that you're going to see, you're going to be in Jackson Hole. You're going to Salt Lake City and Reno, and then all the things in between, like you said, Betty, because we do a lot of stopping and to see all those things, and there are so many things now to see. You know, that's the nice thing about having the bus at your
Yeah.
disposal and going that way. It's really wonderful.
Well, you know, we see things on a plane, but you see them flying over. Ooh, look down there. There's the river or something. But on the bus, it does make a big difference. And I think you get more of your money's worth when you ride on a bus because you see so much
Well,
more.
you do see an awful lot. I
Mm-hmm.
think these, Betty, if I'm not mistaken, I think these were some of the old where they had the cranberries, but I think those were drained now, if I'm not mistaken. But I think because they grow them, in the water. And we
Yeah.
saw some up on Whitby Island, I believe, too. So, and I think this was some that had already been harvested. I
Isn't
believe.
that something? Look isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful.
Yeah. I
It-
love the water.
The coastline of the United States is really, really phenomenal. If you take a look from the Canadian border down to the Mexican border, and you see all the different types of things that you can see, everything that we saw just a little bit ago, from the sand dunes to the wonderful cliffs to the mudslides.
Well, but when you have this kind of weather, you have to
Oh, yeah.
you have to understand that this is going to happen.
Well, not only that, but they're building some more of this particular road there, too, and improving. That's a nice thing too, that improving some of the roadway there. But and these little islands that you see jutting up out from the shore, they're just absolutely marvelous. It's just beautiful. You could just sit there all day and just
Watch
sort of
it.
drink in the beauty of it,
Yeah,
couldn't you?
It's sort of gloomy in a way and a little melancholy, but it's peaceful for me.
Well, I think on this particular day we were shooting some of this, there was a storm that was offshore, so you're getting a little bit of that heavy clouds off of the shore there in a distance. So
I think how much I love the water, and yet here I live in Fresno.
do you go over to the coast very often?
No, I don't go anywhere.
You know, I know when I was a kid that, of course, there weren't as many people in this area as there were now, but as there are now, I should say. But it seemed like so many people always had summer homes over on the coast, and would go over on the coast either for weekends or for a month or so on the coast. I guess people are still doing that. Of course, real estate prices are an awful lot higher than they were then.
Then they were lucky. In Santa Cruz, I know a lot of our friends in Sanger that a lot of the Italian people bought places over in Santa Cruz, and then they would have family gatherings there.
Very wise thing to do. And now I imagine that a lot of those places have, if you were to go sell them or to go to buy them,
wow.
There'd be a big price tag on them now.
Oh, wow.
They only made so much coastline,
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And you don't make any more of that.
And there are restrictions now too about building on the coastline. You can, they don't allow it like they did.
Anyway, here's just more of this beautiful scenery, of course, as we're going down the Oregon coast, and it's just I always like this drive. I've done this a few times, and it is peaceful, and it is just magnificent. I mean, these views are just magnificent.
Especially when you don't have to drive. When you leave the driving to us,
yes,
yeah, you can just sit back
absolutely
and
the best.
relax and enjoy.
Or take a nap if you want to.
Oh, well, we did a lot of that too. It's just conducive to dozing off a little bit as you ride along.
Sure it is. Sure it is. Anyway, Betty, what other trips we got coming up besides the bus trip for this year?
I have October the 11th. We're going to go to the Holy Land, and I'm so thrilled because Father Leonard Trindade, who's a very favorite of mine. He's just been a priest for a little over a year, and he went with us, remember, to Oberammergau before he was ever a priest, and he's going to come along with us, and he is so dear. I'm just really think it's going to be exciting. So we're going to do that. We'll be gone 10 days for that trip, and then when we come back, pack up again and go to Turkey.
Right.
And that's the first for us. We've never done Turkey before. We've done the Holy Land about 10 times, but never done Turkey. And I would invite our viewers to join us, on any of the trips, so they're all going to be They really are good trips. I think the proof of that is the fact that we have so many repeat people that go with us. Half of the people that have signed up for Turkey have already gone with us.
Is that right? Oh, great, good. So we'll be making acquaintances with some of the friends that have traveled then with us before. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. That's what makes it family-like,
It sure is, yeah. No, very, very much so. And I think that's the wonderful thing about the Adventures Travel Club is that we do have that family feeling and everybody looking out for one another. And it is fun. And that's it. Great way to travel, just a great way to travel.
Well, and group travel is good. A lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, I don't want to go in a group because I'll be regimented. I have to stop for this and do that. And that's really not true. Of course you have to stop at the places, but that doesn't mean that you can't go off and look at things. As long as you know the time, you take your watch and you synchronize your watches, and we'll say, we'll meet back at the bus at such and such a time. You have freedom to move. And then you see things.
Well, especially if you have a local guide on some of the places that you're going, you really don't want to get away from the group because you want to hear what that guide has to say, and you may have questions that you want to ask as well. And we have been so fortunate, I think, on all of our trips because I can't recall, at least on any of the trips that I've been on, that we've had that we've really had a bad guide. I remember.
There's been a few.
Well, not on the trips that I've been on. Yeah.
But it's only one place that you are. You don't have that. They don't go along with you. It's just
no. But you pick up a local guide in the various areas, the cities or wherever you happen to go.
But they're very well qualified. They have to go to school for I think it's 2 years. They have to have a diploma of some kind to show that they're an expert in their field. So we do have the best. Some of them are just more personable. Just like people.
Sure. Well, they are people. How do you get around that, huh?
Thanks be to God.
What are you thinking about for next year, Betty?
Well, I don't know. I wish some of my viewers or our viewers would call me or write in. Agnes wants to do Canada again. You want to do the Scandinavian countries.
Right. We have not done the Scandinavian countries, and I would like, and I hopefully if you know, it's been so expensive though. I mean,
Yeah,
some
that's
parts
what
of Europe are
people
very
say,
expensive.
very
So
expensive.
if we can find a really good trip at a good price, so that we
We'll
can
do
pass
that,
that price
yeah.
on to everyone, we
I-
can maybe do that this
I would
next year.
like to do Ireland again. We
Do you
didn't
know,
it.
Betty, I was just reading yesterday that Ireland is probably the most favorite place for United States travelers.
We got a lot of Irish people that live here, but they're such friendly people. It's just a pleasure to go there, and it's not too expensive. Well, the big thing is your airfare, but we always include 2 meals a day, which make it. People don't have any optional things when they go with us.
Yeah, you don't. That's good.
When you pay your money, you get what you paid for, and there's no extras along the way. So I think that might be a possibility, and I'm thinking maybe Russia might be on the agenda next year, depending on the political climate. I've had people that call, and I personally would like to go back to South America.
That was a very good
that
trip. Yeah,
was
South
so
America is
good.
wonderful. That's a great
Argentina
place to
and
go.
Brazil and Iguazu Falls that are so. Do you know Iguazu Falls compared to Niagara? It makes Niagara look like a shower. Oh, that's a big exaggeration, but
I don't know. I haven't seen Iguazu Falls, rather, but I have seen Niagara Falls, and I've got to tell you, I was impressed with that. So,
okay, well, you
a
would,
pretty big,
you
strong
would be
shower. Then,
doubly impressed. So anyway, that's a possibility too. And
Good.
it's
What about some cruises? You're going to have some
we're
cruises
going
for
to,
next
yeah,
year?
we're going to do probably February. We'll do the Caribbean.
Oh boy,
And
that's a good time to do that.
Yeah, and I already have some people that have asked to do that. And then we'll probably do Panama Canal again. That seems to be such a good cruise because we get to go to Costa Rica too. And then, it's nice. And it's to see, going through those locks, to see that engineering feat. And you just get so pampered on a ship. And
Do you sure do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will do some cruises
That's
next
good.
year.
Well, and maybe some of our viewers have suggestions on where they would like to go next year. So if they do, give Betty a call and let her know. As this is how a lot of our trips do come about, is the suggestions that you viewers and travelers have. And so if you have a favorite place that you would like to go, why don't you give Betty a call and talk it over with her, and she might just put something together.
Who's that up there, Mauve?
That's
Who's that
Paul Bunyan. And
his
Babe.
little ox,
Uh-huh.
not little.
ox,
What's his ox's name?
Babe.
Babe.
And this was a tree that you walked through. However, this was closed when we happened to be here. But this is a nice stop for people. And that also, of course, you could buy things here too.
Yeah. Well,
There are a few
and
souvenirs.
I think we even got ice cream there too, didn't we? It
Yep.
seems like
I
that
think
was
we got
an
there just
ice cream
before 5
stop.
o'clock, before they were closing, and so
Yeah.
we were still able to
See, we
to
had
get a
some
few
sun.
souvenirs.
We got through the rain.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had some lovely
Yeah.
sunshine.
Well, because you're back in California.
Oh, well, we rain here.
You're back
we
in
have
California.
to have rain.
Sure.
Where are we now?
You don't know where we are?
Uh-uh.
Well, all right. Take a look at this next building and see if you can guess.
I really know, but I just wanted to make you sound smart.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Well, you have found it?
The Bay. We're at Humboldt Bay.
Right, yes.
See, that's because you told me earlier. I must have.
And the name
I
of the
must-
town is?
Eureka?
Ah, you
Oh,
have
that's
found
gold.
it. That's right.
That's a Eureka. We have
Uh-huh,
that's
Eureka, I
our
found it.
slogan for California.
This
Motto.
used to be a home of a very wealthy family, and now it has turned into a private club, and it's really quite
It's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
I think that anybody that takes the highway up there, of course, always drops by to see this beautiful old mansion.
I stood there with my mouth open. I couldn't believe it. All the curlicues and all the little balconies, all the carved work. It is something else.
Isn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this whole area they've taken and they made sort of a walking street, and you can walk through this area where they have a lot of these Victorians restored. And I think it's really a nice job that the city has done.
I
up there.
liked one that was a bread and breakfast. It looked so interesting. And then there were a lot of attorneys that bought into these, and they use them for offices. Look at that.
That's true.
It's
Isn't that
like
beautiful?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the colors on it too are quite nice, aren't they? Yeah.
Beautifully restored.
They did a magnificent job, you know, and it's too bad that some of the cities, which will remain nameless, tore down a lot of buildings like this.
Yeah,
in the
there's
past,
one
yeah.
right close by, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is.
Don't have to go very far.
No,
to
not
find
too
that.
far at all. But these are beautiful, and to see that they have restored these, and as you say, they're using them for B&Bs and using these for offices, and they are really quite nice. And it's nice to be able to keep the history there.
Well, they've done that now in San Francisco. They restored the Victorian, so many of the Victorian places. And then the ones they restored over in the Mission District that were just nothing. And now they're selling for like $350,000. It's cool. I liked this one here a lot. It looks better.
This was a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, and it looks better when you're there to see it rather than on the camera. I don't know why, because I guess you can take it all in at a closer range or something. But it was great.
It's really quite
neat.
beautiful. Yeah. Now this was nice, and it was a nice little stop for us. Actually, we'd stayed overnight here, and so we were
Not there.
No,
Not in that place. It would have been nice.
Wouldn't that have been nice?
Yeah.
But and so we saw this after breakfast before we got back on the bus and went on down the road. But look at that! All that workmanship. And it is so nice that is preserved.
Marv, I think that place that we see that we're looking at right now belonged to a lumber baron, made all his money in the lumber business.
Well, he sure had a nice house.
Yeah, he did.
Well, Betty, we'll go down the road a little bit more to another neat little place.
And what is the name of that neat little place?
Ferndale.
Ferndale.
Had you ever been there before?
No, I have. I've been up the Oregon coast, up 101, but no, not there.
Well, this is a very exciting little town. There was a lot of things here that all of the stores were open, and there was again a lot more shopping. And we made a lunch stop here.
Yeah, great place to
Oh,
eat.
yeah.
Wonderful ice cream. We all got some ice cream there. Ice cream seems to be a good thing when we travel. Looking for it anyway.
Well, you can gain a couple of pounds off of the ice cream, I guess. I don't know, but they had some nice things to see here. Some of the houses, of course, had been kept up. I don't know if they were restored or just maybe have always been kept up
I
here.
think some had to be restored because there was a big earthquake there that did quite a bit of damage.
Is that right?
Yes.
Ah.
So of necessity, some of them had to be. I don't even think restored. Probably been rebuilt.
No, that could be.
Yeah.
Anyway, on our next episode, we're going to take a further look at this beautiful little town and see some of the sights around it. But Betty, we better mention that people want to get in touch with you about the trips that we have remaining this year. Give you a call at
488-7443.
And you ought to do it right away. Well, that's it for this time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.